Welcome to PreMath. In this video, we have been given x equals to 2 minus square root of 3, and now we are going to find the value of this expression 7x power 7 plus 5x power 5 minus 5x cubed minus 7x divided by x power 4. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started with the solution. And here's our very first step. Let's focus on this expression. And here I have copied it down, and let's go ahead and write this big fraction into individual fractions called partial fraction. As you can see in this next step, we have just wrote down these individual fractions, and now we are going to simplify them. Let's go ahead and reduce these fractions by subtracting their exponents. So the first fraction is going to give us 7x power 3. The second fraction is going to give us simply 5x minus this third one is going to give us 5 divided by x minus 7 divided by x cubed. Now let's go ahead and rearrange them. I'm going to put these one together, and likewise I'm going to put these one together as well. So therefore I can write a 7x power 3 minus 7 divided by x power 3 plus 5x minus 5 divided by x. And now we can see that 7 is in common between these first two terms, and 5 is in common these last two terms. So therefore let's go ahead and factor out 7 outside, and we got x cubed minus 1 over x cubed, and then I'm going to factor out 5 outside, and in parentheses we got x minus 1 over x. Now let me go ahead and call this as our expression number 1. Now we can find the value of this expression once we have figured out the value of this part and this part as well. So let's go ahead and find out the value of these two components. And here's our next step. Let's focus on this equation x equals to 2 minus square root of 3. And here I have copied it down. Now let's go ahead and find the value of 1 over x. So 1 over x is going to be simply 1 divided by 2 minus square root of 3. And now we can see we have a radical at the denominator, so we must not have a square root at the denominator. So therefore we are going to rationalize this denominator by multiplying and dividing by its conjugate. The conjugate is going to be a 2 plus square root of 3 divided by 2 plus square root of 3 as well. Now let's go ahead and multiply these two denominators, these factors. Now let's recall this well-known identity a square minus b square. We are going to apply at the denominator. Therefore we can write this thing as 2 square minus square root of 3 whole square. 2 square is 4 minus this square and square root undo each other. We got minus 3, so that is going to give us simply 1. So the denominator turns out to be simply 1. So therefore our 1 over x equals to, on the numerator it is going to be a 2 plus square root of 3 divided by 1, or simply we can write 1 over x as a 2 plus square root of 3. And here's our next step. Let's go ahead and calculate the value of this part x minus 1 over x. And we know that this is our x value and this is our 1 over x value. So therefore I can write x minus 1 over x equal to, our x value is 2 minus square root of 3, and then minus 1 over x is 2 plus square root of 3. When we open this parentheses over here, that's going to give us a negative 2 minus square root of 3. And now we can see this 2 and minus 2, this is gone. So we ended up with only negative 2 times square root of 3. So thus our x minus 1 over x value turns out to be a negative 2 times square root of 3. And in this next step, we are going to find the value of x cube minus 1 over x cube. And now let's recall this famous identity a minus b whole cube. And now we wanted to isolate this part a cube minus b cube. So therefore, I'm going to move this part on the other side. And here in this next step, I have isolated this a cube minus b cube, and the rest of the stuff is on the other side. And now let me go ahead and call this a as our x and b as 1 over x. Then this equation could be written as x cube minus 1 over x cube equals to x minus 1 over x whole cube plus 3 times x times 1 over x and then times x minus 1 over x. Now we can see that this x and 1 over x, this is gone, and we know our x minus 1 over x value, which is negative 2 times square root of 3, and likewise the same value is over here again. So therefore I can replace this one, negative 2 times square root of 3 whole power 3 plus 3 times negative 2 times square root of 3. Now let's focus on this part. We are going to simplify. I have just copied it down, and here we can see that negative 2 power 3, I just separated this one, that is going to give us negative 8, and this square root of 3 power 3 could be written as square root of 3 power 2, and then times square root of 3, and this square and square root, they undo each other, we got 3. So this whole thing has been simplified to negative 24 times square root of 3. So therefore I can write negative 24 square root of 3, and here we can multiply this thing, that's going to give us negative 6 times square root of 3. And now if we combine these like terms, we're going to get negative 30 times square root of 3. And here's our final step. We are going to find now the value of this expression. We know that this expression was same as this expression number 1. And here's our expression 1. We are going to replace these values by this one, and this x minus 1 over x value by this one. So let's go ahead and substitute the value. 7 times negative 30 times square root of 3 plus 5 times negative 2 times square root of 3. Now let's go ahead and distribute. So that's going to give us negative 210 square root of 3. Likewise, we're going to distribute this one as well. So that's going to give us negative 10 times square root of 3. Now let's go ahead and add them. So that is going to give us negative 220 times square root of 3, and that is our final answer. So thus our simplified answer to this given expression turns out to be a negative 220 times square root of 3. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos. Bye.